Have you ever stopped to think about what's actually happening inside your brain when you feel grateful? Or can you say thank you? What if that simple act, that thank you, wasn't just, being polite? What if it could physically reshape your brain for, like, better health, deeper connections, even more happiness? Sounds almost a bit too simple, doesn't it?
It really does sound simple, but the science emerging around this is genuinely fascinating. Today, we're doing a deep dive that goes way beyond just good manners. We're going to explore the neuroscience of gratitude. We'll unpack how it physically changes your brain, the chemicals it releases, and the real measurable benefits it brings to your mental and physical well-being. The research here is pretty remarkable.
Okay, let's get into it. Because often I think we see gratitude as just a nice feeling, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe just etiquette. What you're saying is much more profound. A socio-moral emotion. That sounds serious.
It is, in a good way. It means it's tied into our social fabric and our sense of right and wrong. And when you practice it regularly, experience it, express it, it can really shift things psychologically and physically. And you feel something right away, don't you? There's that immediate effect.
Yeah, that warm feeling. What's happening there?
That's your brain chemistry at work, instantly. When you express gratitude, your brain releases key neurotransmitters. Dopamine and serotonin, these aren't just vague feel-good chemicals. Dopamine is tied to reward, motivation, learning. Serotonin impacts well-being, happiness, so you get this immediate, pleasant internal boost. It's your brain rewarding you for that positive social action.
A built-in reward system for being thankful.
Okay.
But it goes deeper than just that momentary chemical hit, right?
Right.
You mentioned a gratitude network in the brain, and it's something about social glue. How does gratitude actually strengthen our relationships on a biological level?
The social glue idea. Yeah. That's where oxytocin comes in. There was this really interesting study with heterosexual monogamous couples. It found that when one partner expressed thanks to the other, it specifically stimulated the oxytocin system in the brain. Now, oxytocin, people call it the love hormone or bonding hormone. It drives trust, generosity, affection, that kind of pro-social stuff. And what's really key here is that the system, which is influenced by a gene called CD38, seems quite selective for gratitude. It's not just any positive interaction. There's something about acknowledging that you depend on someone and thanking them for it that specifically triggers this oxytocin pathway. It helps solidify the relationship.
Wow. So our brains are almost hardwired to recognize and reward appreciation within relationships.
Okay, that's fundamental.
And it's not just oxytocin, right? Which specific brain areas are lighting up?
Exactly. It's a whole network. One major player is the medial prefrontal cortex, the MPFC. This area consistently shows activity with gratitude. And it's involved in loads of important things: feeling rewarded, morality, social connection, learning, making decisions.
Okay.
And here's the really significant part for long-term change. Practicing gratitude repeatedly actually creates new neural pathways in the MPFC. Think of it like building a faster, more efficient gratitude highway in your brain. The more you use it, the easier it becomes to get into that grateful state.
Practice makes permanent for the brain, too. So does that mean you need to practice a lot to feel the effects?
Consistency seems more important than duration, especially at first. Even just short daily moments of reflection can start laying down those tracks. Then over time, they get stronger, and feeling grateful becomes more, natural. Another key area is the paragenual anterior cingulate cortex, PGACC. This seems to be central for actually generating the feeling of gratitude. It might even sort of track the levels of gratitude between people, like a social thank you meter.
A thank you meter in the brain. Okay.
Yeah.
Any others?
Yes, definitely. When you receive gratitude, your ventral striatum lights up. That's a core reward region, and it shows plasticity, meaning it changes with experience. And for the person giving the thanks, areas involved in mentalization, like the temporoparietal junction or TPJ, get active. That means when you say thank you, your brain is busy understanding the other person's perspective.
So it's truly a two-way street neurally. Both giving and receiving gratitude reshape the brain.
Absolutely. It reinforces that positive loop. And beyond those specific spots, gratitude broadly activates the brain's general reward pathways and also the hypothalamus. But the hypothalamus is crucial. It regulates stress, sleep, appetite, all sorts of basic functions. And interestingly, some research links gratitude to higher gray matter volume in areas like the right inferior temporal gyrus and parts of the cerebellum extending to the fusiform gyrus.
Gray matter volume. What does that mean in this context?
Well, the fusiform gyrus is important for face perception, and these areas are also involved in recalling personal memories. So it suggests your brain isn't just feeling generically good, it's actively linking the grateful feeling to the specific person, the who, and the specific memory, the when of the helpful act. It makes the gratitude personal and strengthens that social memory.
That's incredibly detailed. The brain is really integrating the whole experience. Okay, this brain science is fascinating. But let's translate it. How does all this rewiring and chemical release actually show up as measurable improvements in our lives?
Yeah.
Let's talk mental health first.
Right, the payoff. And it's significant. There was one compelling study with people already seeking mental health counseling. They were asked to write gratitude letters weekly for just 3 weeks, and they showed significantly better mental health outcomes 4 weeks later and even 12 weeks later. And here's the really surprising part. This was true even if they never actually sent the letters.
Just writing them was enough. Wow. Why?
Well, the analysis showed something crucial. The benefit wasn't necessarily from using more positive words. It was linked to using fewer negative emotion words. It suggests gratitude actively shifts your focus away from toxic feelings like resentment or envy. It helps you unhook from rumination.
That's a huge point. It's not just adding positivity, it's actively reducing the mental space given to negativity.
Yeah.
That resonates. What else does it do for mental well-being?
Well, these kinds of gratitude practices consistently show reductions in symptoms of anxiety and depression. They help ease psychological pain. They boost positive moods, optimism, and importantly, they cut down on worry. And these effects tend to grow over time. It's like a positive snowball effect. The more you practice, the more resilient and positive your baseline becomes.
A positive snowball effect. I like that. Does it sharpen our thinking too?
It seems to, yes. By activating the prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO, responsible for rational thought and critical thinking, gratitude can improve decision-making and potentially boost productivity. It helps clear the mental fog, and it's powerful for self-esteem.
How so?
It fundamentally shifts your perspective from scarcity, focusing on what you lack or how you fall short compared to others, towards abundance. You start noticing and appreciating what you do have. This makes those negative social comparisons much less likely, much less potent.
It really sounds like a foundational practice for mental health. But you mentioned physical benefits too.
Oh, absolutely. The mind and body are deeply connected here. One major link is the vagus nerve. This is the longest nerve in your autonomic nervous system, kind of like an information superhighway between your brain and your organs. Gratitude actually stimulates the vagus nerve.
And what does stimulating the vagus nerve do?
It promotes the rest and digest response, the opposite of the chronic fight or flight stress response many of us are stuck in. This lowers physiological stress, helps regulate emotions better, and improves heart rate variability, or HRV. Higher HRV is a key sign. Your nervous system is healthy and adaptable. Basically, gratitude helps calm your entire system down.
So it's a direct antidote to chronic stress, physiologically. That's huge. What about immunity?
Connected to that stress reduction, yes. Optimism, which gratitude fosters, is linked to better immune function. When you're less stressed and more optimistic, your body tends to produce more disease-fighting cells. Chronic stress, on the other hand, suppresses the immune system. So gratitude can act like a bit of a shield.
Interesting. And I think many listeners will want to know sleep. Can it help with sleep?
It really seems to. It's a very practical application. Taking just a few minutes before bed to focus on what you're thankful for can significantly cut down on worry and rumination. You know, those thoughts that keep replaying? Gratitude helps quiet them. Some research suggests this simple habit could add around 30 minutes of better quality sleep.
30 minutes more sleep from a few minutes of thankfulness. That's a great trade-off.
It is. It helps promote truly restorative rest, not just time in bed. And there's even evidence it can help with managing chronic pain.
How does that work?
By reducing inflammation, fatigue, and anxiety, all factors that worsen the experience of pain. It lowers the overall physiological stress load. Plus, people who practice gratitude tend to just take better care of themselves overall, more likely to exercise, eat well, see the doctor. It encourages healthier habits.
Okay, the benefits are clear brain changes, mental health boosts, physical well-being improvements. It's compelling. So how do we actually do it? How do we cultivate this more in our daily lives? You mentioned a handy acronym.
Yes, a really helpful one, thanks. THANKS. Each letter stands for a practical step.
Okay, let's break it down. T is for?
T is for time. You need to make time for it. Schedule just a few minutes each day, maybe morning and evening, to consciously reflect on what you're grateful for. Treat it like any other important appointment. Remember those neural pathways. Consistency builds them.
Right.
H is for highlight. Actively look for and highlight the positive moments in your day, even tiny ones. Someone holding a door, a nice chat, a good cup of coffee. Train your brain to notice the good stuff that usually flies under the radar.
Acknowledge the small wins. Makes sense.
A. A is for acknowledge. This means expressing your gratitude to others. Don't just think thank you, say it, or write it. An unexpressed thank you doesn't have that same social bonding power, remember the oxytocin. Acknowledging others boosts their well-being and deepens your own grateful feelings.
Got it.
N. N is for nature. Spending time in nature, even briefly, can be incredibly grounding. It fosters perspective and deep appreciation for the bigger picture. It helps reset your nervous system, making you more receptive to feelings of gratitude.
Okay.
K is for kindness. Practice random acts of kindness. Kindness and gratitude are like twins. They fuel each other. Doing good for others activates similar reward circuits in your brain and cultivates connection and appreciation. Plus, as the source material nicely put it, kindness is often free, so sprinkle that stuff everywhere.
Sprinkle kindness everywhere. I like that. And finally, S.
S is for savor. This is about consciously savoring positive experiences. Don't just rush through the good moments. Pause. Step outside the experience mentally and really appreciate it. That delicious meal, a warm bed, a completed task, savoring helps embed the positivity more deeply in your brain.
Really taking it in, not just letting it pass by.
Exactly. Being fully present with the good stuff, allowing it to really land and, well, reshape your inner world.
So, thanks. Time, highlight, acknowledge, nature, kindness, savor. That's a great toolkit. It really drives home the point. Gratitude isn't just fluff. It's not just manners. It's a powerful, science-backed strategy for improving basically everything. Brain function, health, relationships.
It truly is an accessible, zero-cost way to enhance well-being with real, measurable effects. It makes you think, doesn't it? What if gratitude, really caught on? What if we collectively made it go viral?
Imagine that ripple effect.
Yeah, the potential shift in collective kindness, connection, well-being. If we all just focused a bit more on appreciating what we have and saying so.
So here's a challenge for you listening. Try practicing some gratitude today, right now even. Take just a minute. What are you truly grateful for? And maybe, just maybe, share that feeling with someone. You might be surprised by the power it unlocks for them and for you. Thank you for diving deep with us today.